Hare Krishna. Would like to welcome all of you for our Food for Soul session. So thank you very much for joining. I know it's been a working day and must have been a long day. So still you chose to come here. So yes, would like to hear the beautiful recitations of Bhagavad Gita. Today we'll be chanting from the chapter 5. And then as we had committed, today we'll be discussing a little bit on the glories of Tulasi Maharani, why we should worship Tulasi and how should we worship. And then we'll have some Q&A, and if time permits, I will also continue our discussion on the meaning of Damodarastakam. So let's start with the recitation of Bhagavad Gita, chapter 5. So hope you are enjoying and releasing and you are daily studying Bhagavad Gita. Okay, so let's start.
अथ पंचमोऽध्यायः अर्जुन उवाच संन्यासं कर्मणां कृष्ण पुनर्योगं च शंससि यच्छ्रेययेतयोरेकं तन्मे ब्रूहि सुनिश्चितम् श्रीभगवानुवाच संन्यासः कर्मयोगश्च निःश्रेयसकरावुभौ तयोस्तु कर्मसन्न्यासा कर्मयोगो विशिष्यते ज्ञेयः स नित्यसन्न्यासी यो न द्वेष्टि न काङ्क्षति निर्द्वन्द्वो हि महाबाहो सुखं बन्धात् प्रमुच्यते सांख्ययोगौ पृथग् बालाः प्रवदन्ति न पण्डिताः एकमप्यास्थितः सम्यग् उभयोर्विन्दते फलम् यत्साङ्ख्यैः प्राप्यते स्थानम् तद्योगैरपि गम्यते एकं साङ्ख्यं च योगं च यः पश्यति स पश्यति संन्यासस्तु महाबाहो दुःखमाप्तुमयो गतः योगयुक्तो मुनिर्ब्रह्मा न चिरेणाधिगच्छति योगयुक्तो विशुद्धात्मा विजितात्मा जितेन्द्रियः सर्वभूतात्मभूतात्मा कुर्वन्नपि न लिप्यते नैव किञ्चित् करोमीति युक्तो मन्येत तत्त्ववित् पश्यन् शृण्वन् स्पृशन् जिघ्रन् अश्नन् गच्छन् स्वपन् श्वसन् प्रलपन् विसृजन् गृह्णन् उन्मिषन् निमिषन्नपि इन्द्रियाणीन्द्रियार्थेषु वर्तन्त इति धारयन् ब्रह्मण्याधाय कर्माणि सङ्गम् त्यक्त्वा करोति यः लिप्यते न स पापेन पद्मपत्रमिवाम्भसा कायेन मनसा बुद्ध्या केवलैरिन्द्रियैरपि योगिनः कर्म कुर्वन्ति सङ्गं त्यक्त्वात्मशुद्धये युक्तः कर्मफलं त्यक्त्वा शान्तिमाप्नोति नैष्ठिकीम् अयुक्तः कामकारेण फले सक्तो निबध्यते सर्वकर्माणि मनसा सन्न्यस्यास्ते सुखं वशी नवद्वारे पुरे देहि नैव कुर्वन्न कारयन् न कर्तृत्वं न कर्माणि लोकस्य सृजति प्रभुः न कर्मफलसंयोगम् स्वभावस्तु प्रवर्तते नादत्ते कस्यचित् पापम् न चैव सुकृतं विभुः अज्ञानेनावृतं ज्ञानम् तेन मुह्यन्ति जन्तवः ज्ञानेन तु तदज्ञानम् येषां नाशितमात्मनः तेषामादित्यवज्ञानम् प्रकाशयति तत्परम् तद्बुद्धयः सदात्मानः तन्निष्ठास्तत्परायणाः गच्छन्त्य पुनरावृत्तिम् ज्ञाननिर्धूतकल्मषाः विद्या विनयसम्पन्ने ब्राह्मणे गविहस्तिनि शुनि चैवश्वपाके च पण्डिताः समदर्शिनः इहैव चैर्जितः सर्गो येषां साम्ये स्थितं मनः निर्दोषं हि समं ब्रह्म तस्मात् ब्रह्मणि ते स्थिताः न प्रहृष्येत् प्रियं प्राप्य नोद्विजेत् प्राप्य चाप्रियम् स्थिरबुद्धिरसम्मूढो ब्रह्मविद्ब्रह्मणि स्थितः बाह्यस्पर्शेष्वसक्तात्मा विन्दत्यात्मनि यत्सुखम् स ब्रह्मयोगयुक्तात्मा सुखमक्षयमश्नुते ये हि संस्पर्शजा भोगा दुःखयोनय एव ते आद्यन्तवन्तः कौन्तेय न तेषु रमते बुधः शक्नोति हैव यः सोढुम् प्राक्शरीरविमोक्षणात् कामक्रोधोद्भवम् वेगम् स युक्तः स सुखी नरः योऽन्तः सुखोऽन्तरारामः तथान्तर्ज्योतिरेव यः स योगी ब्रह्मनिर्वाणम् ब्रह्मभूतोऽधिगच्छति लभन्ते ब्रह्मनिर्वाणम् ऋषयः क्षीणकल्मषाः छिन्नद्वैधायतात्मानः सर्वभूतहिते रताः कामक्रोधविमुक्तानाम् यतीनां यतचेतसाम् अभितो ब्रह्मनिर्वाणम् वर्तते विदितात्मनाम् स्पर्शान् कृत्वा बहिर्बाह्यांश्च चक्षुश्चैवान्तरे भ्रुवोः प्राणापानौ समौ कृत्वा नासाभ्यन्तरचारिणौ यतेन्द्रियमनो बुद्धिर्मुनिर्मोक्षपरायणः विगतेच्छाभयक्रोधो यः सदा मुक्त एव सः भोक्तारं यज्ञतपसाम् सर्वलोकमहेश्वरम् सुहृदं सर्वभूतानां ज्ञात्वा मां शान्तिमृच्छति ॐ तत्सदिति श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासूपनिषत्सु ब्रह्मविद्यायां योगशास्त्रे श्रीकृष्णार्जुनसंवादे कर्मसन्न्यासयोगो नाम पञ्चमोऽध्यायः।
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Yes, thank you very much for joining in this recitation of Bhagavad Gita. So you might have observed, especially there are very some important verses in this chapter, that we have been quoting for so many weeks. This 5.22, it says, "Yehi sansparsha jab hoga dukkha yeno ya evate adi antavanta kanteya natesu ramate buddha." That we quoted from the first week itself, how the material pleasures of this world are adi anta, it is a beginning and end. Adi antavante kunteya, like how it is limited, how they always comes up with a pain. So understanding this, the buddhimans, the intelligent persons, they don't indulge in pursuing the material pleasures. So this is a very important verse. We can remember this whenever we want to enjoy the flickering temporary happiness of this world. Now we can see that, okay, this is not going to give me the permanent happiness, the all bliss, all knowledge. I should really, aim for something bigger. We can remember this verse. Another verse, which is really important one, that our founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada quotes, is really 5.29, that he calls as a peace formula. And once we remember this and apply this in our life, in our community, and across the world, and everybody will be at peace. What is that peace formula? Bhaktaram yajnatapasam sarvaloka maheswara suhridam sarvabhutanam gyattamam santim ruchati. Yes, with that everybody would attain peace, because everybody wants to be really the enjoyer, controller, and proprietor. That's why there is a fighting happening. But then once you consider that, okay, Lord Krishna, he is the supreme proprietor, controller, enjoyer, and then everybody will be having one center, to please the Supreme Lord. And that's why he said CEO, controller, enjoyer, and owner, as a Krishna. So once we understand that, then everybody will be at peace. So like we give this example of in a pond, if you put stones in different places, it creates that ripples. But then if you, and all these ripples, they really, strike each other, and then creates a lot of chaos. But if somehow or other, if you put one stone into one place only, and it will create nice, beautiful ripples with one center, right? So yes, if you want to really see this beautiful, harmonized life all across, and then we should really accept that Krishna is the only enjoyer, Krishna is the only proprietor, and Krishna is a controller, and he's a well-wisher of everybody. It's a very nice verses in this chapter. Yes, we'll be discussing, and yes, we should hear as much as possible. We should introspect these verses, the meanings of these verses in our life as much as possible. So yes, let's move on to our next part of our agenda. So where we'll be discussing about the glories of Tulasi Maharani. Yes, every day morning we worship Tulasi because she's so dear to the Lord. And today, to share the glories of Tulasi, we have a nice devotee called Deepak Prabhu. So he has been there in all our sessions. He's our background devotee. He helps in coordinating all the technical details of our Gita course, all the background work he has been doing. But we requested him that you need to also come foreground, come in the front as well to share some glories of the Lord and glories of the devotees. So he has agreed to share some glories of Tulasi Maharani with us today. So yes, Prabhuji, please go ahead. And Prabhuji and Mataji, both are working like in a corporate world, in a semiconductor industry. They are coming from a very pious family. They have been practicing this Krishna consciousness for around 5 years. They just came into our Krishna consciousness in one of our Janmashtami program. And since then, they have been serving so nicely in various ways, and especially, and they have been helping and facilitating these Gita courses for years now. So we are very, very thankful to Prabhuji and Mataji, the way they have been serving. So yes, Prabhuji, please go ahead.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for giving me this opportunity to share about the glories of Tulsi Maharani. So, Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you for joining, and let's start the glorification of Tulsi Maharani. Before that, we'll just do the pranam mantra. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deva Gauravani Pracharini Nirvisesha Shanyadika Shati Deshata Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshuranmritam Jena Tasmai Shri Guruve Hare Krishna. So, yeah. So, glories of Tulsi Maharani. Tulsi Maharani's glories are so much, and we are very insignificant to describe that. But from our limited capacity or our limited time, we'll try to glorify Tulsi Maharani and just understand why Tulsi Maharani is so dear to Lord and why we should also worship. So let's start with the name itself. Tulsi. Tulsi means Tula means the comparison, but Asi means there is no comparison. So the Tulsi means the one who there is no comparison of her with respect to the devotion, towards the Lord Krishna. So there is no comparison of Tulsi Devi for her devotion to the Lord. So let's start with the little bit background of Tulsi Maharani. Like Tulsi Maharani, basically Tulsi was Vrinda Devi in her previous life, and she was very much devoted to the Lord Narayan, Lord Krishna. She wanted to have her husband as Lord Narayan as her husband. So she was praying to the Lord Brahma, and she did so much tapasya, and there was some background. I mean, like Vrinda Devi basically is eternal, eternal serving Lord Krishna and Radharani in their pastimes. So she is very much involved in this, involved in the meeting of Shri Krishna and Radharani. So she was serving eternally, and she is very dear to Lord. Tulsi Devi is making all the arrangements to meet Radha and Krishna together. Right? So she is the pure devotee, and she is the great devotee of the Lord, and most dear to Lord Krishna. And Vrindavan name itself is named after Vrinda Devi's name. So Vrindavan, right? So Vrindavan means Tulsi one, or where there is so much Tulsi plants, right? So Tulsi Maharani has got benediction from the Narayan that whoever is doing my worship, means Narayan, Vishnu, Tattva worship or Krishna's worship. So that worship will be incomplete if you are not using the Tulsi. So Tulsi Maharani, so basically that's why she got the benediction from the Lord himself that anything or everything, whatever we offer to the Lord, it should be sufficed by the Tulsi leaf, so that so then only Krishna will accept it. So that's why Tulsi is very much important and very much dear to Lord. And there is lot of, pastimes around this. So we'll discuss little bit. And yeah, here there is one quote like, simply by seeing, simply by touching, simply by praying to, simply or simply by bowing before Tulsi Maharani, simply by sowing, or even simply by hearing about the Tulsi plant, it is very auspicious, and our auspiciousness is awakened by this. So there are that is the very much important for a devotee to worship the Tulsi Maharani, so that we can develop the devotion towards Lord Krishna, right? So uh, so this is yeah. So this is one of the pastime in Dwarka, which happened. We know this Tulabhar Leela. So basically, what happened in this, here we can understand the importance of Tulsi Maharani. So when this, we know there are so many wives of Krishna, but main is Rukmani and Satyabhama. So here, the this was the pastime where Satyabhama was trying to weigh Lord by her all the wealths, right, available in the palace, and she bought many things, many ornaments, many valuables, and Krishna was sitting on one side, and everything else was kept in the other side of the this scale, right? But every time Krishna was heavy, and there was no anything which can balance this scale. So, but so this was going on, and then Rukmani Devi was. Everyone was perplexed that why it is not happening, that Krishna's weight is going increasing and increasing. But then Rukmani Devi bought Tulsi and Tulsi leaf, and she just kept one Tulsi leaf on the other side of the scale, and everything else removed, and only with that Tulsi leaf, the balance, this scale got balanced, right? So this is what I mean, the importance of Tulsi Maharani, that it even, so Lord is pleased so much with Tulsi Devi. So this is how Krishna got pleased, right? So this was the small pastime I just would like to share. There are so many pastimes, but yeah. So just let's continue with the Bhagavad Gita 9.26 shloka, where we are seeing Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam Yo Me Bhaktya Prayachati Tat Aham Bhakti Uphartam Ashnami Priyatatmana. So here what Krishna is saying, if one offers me with love and devotion a leaf, a flower, a fruit, or water, I will accept it, right? So this is very much important shloka, and very practical also, that we can start offering, and how we can please the Lord by just a leaf, by a flower, fruit, or water, right? But in the purport of Bhagavad Gita 11th chapter 55th shloka, our Acharya founder Srila Prabhupada is explaining the leaf, or the importance of the word here, leaf, which patram, which Krishna is explaining here to Arjuna, that even a leaf can please him, but which kind of leaf? So yeah, basically we can offer anything, any leaf or flower, fruit, but our acharyas are explaining that among all the leaves, or among all the flowers, the tulsi leaf is very dear to Lord. So that tulsi leaf is what we can understand here a leaf means. So if we don't have anything to offer, at least if we can offer the tulsi leaf, Lord is, and that should also be offered in devotion, right? So with the devotion, if you'll offer even a leaf, Lord will be very much pleased, and he will accept it. He will accept it, as Krishna is saying, right? So let's move ahead. So in our this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Chaitanya Leela, there is we know we sing Panchatattva Mahamantra also, right? Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda. So that Advait Acharya. So this is about him. So Advaita Acharya is worshipping Shaligram Shila. He has Narsimha Shila, and he was worshipping with Tulsi leaf and Ganga water. And why he was worshipping? He was worshipping to pray to the Lord to descend in this material world and deliver all the fallen souls of this age of Kali by the Harinam Sankirtan, Harinam, this Sankirtan movement. So with Advaita Acharya's invocation of, or from his prayer or from his worship, which he was doing every day, every single day he did with Tulsi leaf and Ganga water to his Shaligram Shila, and he was worshipping the Lord, and he was requesting Lord to come to this world. So with his prayer, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to this material world and delivered all the fallen soul by spreading the movement, the Sankirtan movement throughout the world, right? So this is how the Tulsi leaves again is playing very much important role with Ganga water, right? By worshipping. So this and one of the very important aspect of our devotional limbs is this watering the Tulsi plant. So there are so many, like 64 limbs of devotional service, which includes Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, and many and devotional aspects. So one of the 64 aspects includes the watering the Tulsi plant. So that is also very much important to increase our devotion to the Lord, right? And there is one more pastime of Haridas Thakur. So Haridas Thakur, again, he was associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he came around 550 years back along with the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastime, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela. So he born in the Muslim family, but he was so much addicted to the holy name, and because of that, I mean, he was chanting 192 rounds every day. So 192 rounds means 3 lakhs name of Lord Krishna he's chanting every day. And because of that, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave him the name or the upadhi of Namachari, right? So he was Namachari Haridas Thakur. So he was, most of his rounds he was doing in front of the Tulsi Maharani, and he was so much absorbed in the holy name that once what happened when Maya Devi came to test him, she came in she disguised herself in the form of prostitute, and she wanted to disturb Haridas Thakur. But Haridas Thakur was such a nice person and nice Brahmana, so that he don't wanted to disappoint anyone who comes to him. So he said that, okay, I will satisfy you, but first let me chant my rounds for a day. So he is chanting 192 rounds. Takes 22 hours in a day to complete. So he is chanting and chanting. So she is waiting, but then she was thinking that he's not completing his round only, and said then, okay, I will come next day. So she went, and then she again came next day. So again the same thing he said, first let me complete my round, and then I'll satisfy you. So like that she was waiting and hearing the chanting of Haridas Thakur. And similarly, the third day went like that. And at the end of the third day, like she got, she just, she surrendered to Haridas Thakur. She just got so much captivated by the holy name, and she just surrendered. And then Haridas Thakur gave her initiation and told that you leave everything, whatever you have done till now in your past, and just worship the Tulsi Maharani and sit and chant before Tulsi Maharani. And she started doing that, and with the help of with pure devotion to the Krishna or Tulsi Maharani, she got purified, and she also named after because she was prostitute, and then everyone was everyone get to know that she got transformed, so she got named Haridasi, right? So that's how the Tulsi Maharani again played very much important role to transform a Vaishya to a devotee. Right? So this is also very nice pastime, so I thought to share. Yeah, and there is one more again. So Narad Muni, and this is the Mragari pastime. So Mragari was again a hunter. He was killing the animals half dead, and Narad Muni was passing, and he was seeing that who is doing this abominable activity. So he got to know about the Mragari, and he was just interacting with him. And the pastime is going on. I mean, it's a little big, but I will just cut it short and come to the point that Narad Muni instructed Mragari to stop all this nonsense activity and just start worshipping. First to plant the Tulsi leaf, Tulsi plant, and just worship the Tulsi plant, and daily, and circumambulate the Tulsi plant, and serve her by giving the water, and chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So like that, he started. He agreed to the words of Narad Muni, and he started, and he got transformed. So the one who was hunter became very nice devotee by just worshipping the Tulsi Maharani, just circumambulating the Tulsi Maharani, and giving water to her, and chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So that's why very much important the worshipping and circumambulating the Tulsi Maharani. So there are so many different verses as a reference. You can see in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. So where is also the glorification or the importance of Tulsi Maharani is given. I'll just read the translation of such verses. Shri Krishna, who is very affectionate towards his devotees, sells himself to a devotee who offers him merely a Tulsi leaf and a palm full of water. Right? There is one more. Chant the Hare Krishna mantra continuously and render service to the Tulsi plant by watering her and offering prayers to her. In this way, you will very soon get the opportunity to be sheltered at the lotus feet of Krishna. So this is how it's. I just wanted to glorify Tulsi Maharani a little bit from my end. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Please,
Vrinda Devi Tulsi Maharani ki jai. Hare Krishna. Any questions or comments from anybody, either from today's session or what we have discussed? So we have just around 5 odd minutes. Or anything you'd like to share or discuss from your 31 days of wellness challenge or a Damodar program that you have been doing. You know, it's always enlivening and enriching to hear from you how you have been doing. I know. Thank you, Harita Mataji. I see that you every day morning you join for our programs and also evening. So I would like to hear from you if you can share some of your thoughts, like your source of inspiration, how you have been doing so nicely. Would you like to share? Maybe you can unmute yourself. Okay. Would like to hear from you. We see that you have been attending so many programs now, morning, evening, daily programs, and also our sessions. Anything you'd like to share? यस, पिंती माता जी पूछ रहे हैं कि कर्पूर डाल सकते हैं कि नहीं दीपदान में। यूजुअली हम घी दीप लगाते हैं, तो ऐसे कर्पूर भी लगा सकते हैं हम। एंड हम क्या करते हैं, लाइक तुलसी जो दल है नो, मंजरी है या तुलसी पत्ता है, उसमें थोड़ा सा चंदन डाल के भी भगवान को ऑफर करेंगे, वो भी बहुत अच्छा है। And Hemu Mataji doing for the first time and enjoying it. Thank you very much. Yes, we might not realize it, but definitely you will see at the end of the month, you'll feel so much of different, right? So much positively, spiritualized within the heart. And like as we say, the taste of pudding is in eating. Like once you do it so faithfully, so lovingly, from the heart, sincerely, definitely, like this is our challenge. This is our challenge. This is our challenge. That definitely all our this anxiety and sorrow, sadness, and all that things will really get minimized, and a lot of this real bliss will really appear in our heart, because we are connecting ourselves to Krishna, who is all attractive. We are connecting to the Lord Ram, who is the abode of all pleasure. So just like if we are connected to this superpower, and definitely बोलते हैं जैसे संग वैसे रंग, once you're getting attached to the supreme force of all attraction and all pleasure, and definitely we get those qualities. It's obvious, if you're really surrounded with a negative energy, the negative thought process people, right? We get those energies, but once we are attached, associating ourselves with the holy name of the Lord, who is non different than the Lord, and then we really get those beautiful, that's what Prabhupada says, we reawaken our love for the Lord. Yes, this is how it will help us in developing our love towards Krishna. And Aishwarya Mataji is saying, yeah, it's always here, refreshing once again to hear the the glories of the devotees. Yes, we heard today about the glories of Tulasi Maharani. Anything else would like to share? I know we have been seeing that some of our devotees for our daily evening program have started joining. Anybody else would like to share anything before we wrap up for today? Okay, thank you very much. So I would request once again all of you to please continue with your full heart, and with all sincerity, and pray to the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada and all our acharyas that please give us the strength so that we continue this Kartik month as many ways as possible, or at least offering a lamb, or if we are getting more inspired, chanting some rounds of the holy name, and especially early in the morning. Let's do all this bhakti. Once you do early in the morning, Brahma Muhurta, it really the piety or the the energy. It's called Urja Brat, and Radharani is called Urjeswari. And we get the urja, we get the spiritual energy. So if you want to really get spiritualized, if you want to be more energized, we see the battery, like sometimes if you don't use the car or something for some time, it gets completely discharged. But then once you do the jump start, like this months are like the jump start, where we somehow in the association of the devotees with the instruction of our guru and our acharyas, right? They give the jump start, okay, chalu karo, right? Once we start doing it, then we start liking it. But initially, yes, we get that tipping problem or the starting problem. But then once you get used to it, then definitely we like them. And then we'll really be recharged once again with the spiritual power of the Lord. Okay, So thank you very much. So now we can play for some time. Damodarastakam Kirtan, Prabhuji, till we get started with our daily evening program.
Okay,
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.